You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
It felt so good to watch Miami Dolphins play some actual football. The result may not have been what you all wanted, a 24-24 tie against the Chicago Bears, but the good, the bad, the very ugly. To go through all of that and more, as always, is the host of Go Time Dolphins. Tell them what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you can be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, it's preseason for everybody. It's preseason for us. And I got the intro out. I'm like, is that how the intro goes? Like, it is preseason, but man, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, it's all good. It was interesting because I recorded the preview by myself. You haven't seen it yet to anyone. It is what it is. But I recorded that by myself, and I recorded it as the joint practice between the Bears and Dolphins was ongoing. So, Dolphin Twitter's kind of positive, not much happens at that time. And then, do you know the gif of Donald Glover in Community where he walks into the building or walks into the room with the pizza and everything's on fire?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like finishing, because it was just like Tua threw 3 interceptions and the offense got manhandled and there was fights between Dolphins players, and it wouldn't be the preseason without the Dolphins social media or Dolphin fans on social media just blowing everything out of proportion. So apart from that, I'm all good, man. How are you?
Bro, we got this review to get through, but I feel like we have a lot of stuff to catch up on as far as the Dolphins preseason and this little joint practice we have with the Bears. And I guess we could wrap it all up in one big present and gift it to the Dolphins community. Watching the game, I had a question, bro, towards the end of the game, because it was a pretty entertaining game. Right? It's like, okay, now it's 24-24. The game ends in the tie, as a tie. And towards the end of the game, there's a thought in my mind that it's just preseason. And even if we won this, it's still just preseason. But I had a question for you, Kadeem. The way you lose a preseason game, does that matter? Or is it still, it's just preseason? No, it doesn't matter.
It matters. And I don't want to sit on the fence. It matters and it doesn't matter. If you try something, it's like, okay, we're going to treat this like an actual, end of game. We're going to try something and it doesn't pan out and they get like a pick 6 or something. Obviously, as fans, we'll be annoyed, but inside the building, it's like, we tried it. We'll see how we can improve on it. Or actually, it just did not work. We're never going to try that again. I don't know if that's in reference to the play calling at the end of the game from the Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniel, when it wasn't anything to write home about, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think you want to put as much good tape out there as possible, but I don't think the manner in which you lose should kind of be. You shouldn't place too much scrutiny on the manner in which you lose a preseason game.
So it wasn't. I wasn't criticizing the play calling, like, oh, McDaniel got to call better plays. Look, we look terrible. Nothing like that, because that's kind of normal. You know what I'm saying? That's a normal conversation we have in a lot of games. We would like coach to call better plays in different situations. My thing was more so, it looked real messy. And I understand it's preseason. I understand half of these boys not going to be on the team. I understand that. And here's why I think it kind of matters how you lose, because it may not matter in the moment on the field. But the way you had to have 3 picks in practice and everyone said, oh, 3 picks, whatever. But then you just just parlay that with the way you lose, even though it was a tie, we did not lose. But if you lose, bro, that last 2 series was tragic. I'm like, oh man, this is messy, super messy. Like we might as well just should have listened, took the knee and took the L. You know what I'm saying? Because we went for it on 4th down from our own 40. I think it was less than a minute left on the clock, something like that. And Quinn Ewers backed up, hit Ali Gordon on an angle route. It got the 4th down. It was oh yeah, this is cool. And a question that I have for myself is, how come more team, and maybe obviously it depends on your kicker, but I feel like Jason Sanders has the leg, and I think I said this in last offseason, preseason. I think he has the leg to hit from 60 plus. And I wonder why we don't take more opportunities to attempt. We don't take any. We don't attempt any from 60 plus. Shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars kicker, just hit from 70 in preseason. I get it. Justin Tucker holds the record at 66, and the long-standing record for a long time was 63 in the NFL. And then you had one that was help with elevation in Denver. I forget, maybe it was McManus. I can't remember who hit that one, but I was also 62, 63. But my thing is, I think Justin Tucker needs more attempts from 60 plus.
Jason Sanders.
My bad. You right.
Preseason. It's preseason. We're all good.
It's preseason. I think Jason Sanders need more attempts from 60 plus, because I think there was a game last year where I'm like, yo, just see what happens. Just give him a chance, see what happens. So we didn't. So we went for it on 4th down. It was 4th and 15, I think.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, 4th and 15. We took a sack, strip sack. We fumbled. Ewers fumbled. But I felt like, yo, it's only a 62-yard field goal, bro. Just see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like perhaps in a situation where it's like 2 seconds left on the clock, and it's like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to try it. Like, if I don't make it, the chances of them returning that kick are so slim. I also think it might be a situation where, like, I think he hit was like a 57-yarder in the game, and it was like that. It was like, again, add like another 5-10 yards, and he's good. So I can imagine part of that thinking could be because he got the distance on a 57-yarder. We know he can hit it from 60. Now, obviously, you still want to try it, but it's like we know he's got the leg. We'll just save it for another day. Although the question then becomes, is preseason. If you're not going to try it in preseason, don't even attempt to try it week 1 against the Patriots, because I understand. They see him in practice, and it's funny how the lead is Jason Sanders. You know what I'm saying, on this preseason game. But I understand it's preseason, and they see him in practice. So you gotta hope that they have a better gauge on their kicker than we do, right? They seen what he does and doesn't do in practice. They don't even attempt in games. The Dolphins lost on a 61-yard field goal to Buffalo. You would like to see, like, can we even give that fate to someone else if we had the opportunity to? What better chance to do it? What better time to do it than now in a preseason game? But whatever. Moving on, if I can. Tua gets is this his first ever preseason start? No, not at all. No.
Oh, so he started last year, because I thought I heard. Now that I said it, I think he started last preseason. But
I was chatting to 5-Yard Lee, and it might have been the year after his concussion, the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he returns and plays the Giants, and first throw interception. Everyone's like, oh my God, what are we doing here? So there's at least one game where
and I said I'm glad he got it out the way. I'm glad he got it out of the way. So here's my thing, because I thought I heard the broadcast say, oh, this is Tua's first preseason game or start. I'm like, is that right? Because it doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to bring it up just now. And as I said it out loud, I was like, nah, bro, I thought I remember him playing last year too. But the O-line gets to start. The starting O-line plays. Tua plays. No Waddle. No Tyreek.
Just to interject, apparently Tua wasn't going to play. He convinced McDaniel to let him play.
I was getting there.
Sorry.
So Tua's not going to play, and Tua tells McDaniel, like, nah, bro, I'm trying to play, bro. Like, and then it's I don't have kids, but I imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, the kids like, I really, really want this. I really, really want it. And then the parents cave in. All right, I'll give you one series, right? So Tua gets his one series. And again, the broadcast says he lobbied to play. And he got it. You imagine maybe it was because he didn't want to end the Chicago Bears chapter on 3 picks like he did in practice. He said, nah, bro, I got to get that back. I want to feel better about what's going on. No Waddle, no Tyreek. But here's my bigger thing. And this is the meat and potatoes podcast, bro. We talk about everything that needs to be talked about. So it might not be the sexy, let's talk about everything that's going to get clicks, but this is what matters. Aaron Brewer starts. And Brewer was reported to have a lower leg injury. You remember that, Kadeem?
Yep, definitely. Yep. Because they didn't put him on IR, but he was like taking. They didn't want him to miss any like snaps.
Working off to the side with Tua was the report. He's working away from the team, off to the side with Tua to build chemistry as the quarterback center exchange. And when I seen Brewer play, the first thing I did was, oh well, where's Tyreek at? Where's Waddle at? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to have Tua out there and you got the starting O-line out there, and the first thing in my mind is if Brewer is playing in a preseason game, he's good. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. We get a report a couple of days ago that Tyreek has an undisclosed injury. We don't know do we know what this injury is yet, Kadeem?
I haven't seen anything, no.
We don't know what we have tapped into all of our resources, and we do not know what this injury is yet, right? And I'm thinking, well, if Tyreek is out there too, I think we're good. Tyreek is not out there, and nor is Waddle. And after the game, it comes out from Omar Kelly, Dolphins receiver Jalen Waddle suffered an injury from the hit he took against the Bears and Friday's joint practice. That's why he didn't play today. So Waddle's nursing something, right? Could be nothing. Could be everything. Who knows? But he's not playing. At what point, Kadeem, are you like, damn, I would like to know if we're healthy? You know what I'm saying? At what point would that click in and be like, all right, are we healthy? Are we not? How bad is Waddle's injury? How bad is Tyreek's injury? And also, I think we have no more concerns about Brewer, in my opinion.
So to take it very quickly, take it back to the Dolphins Bears practice. So I don't know if you heard this, but that joint practice was meant to be, is it FUD only?
Is it what?
FUD, THUD.
Thud?
Yes.
Yeah, what about it?
So apparently that practice was meant to be FUD only, and as a first
time, right. Okay. So I was going in my notes, and then I heard you say, "I like, all right, right." So yeah. So that is, yo, we're not blowing people up, we're not hitting people hard, we're contacting at a very decent rate and wrapping them, but we're not going to the ground.
And the Bears player said, "F that, we are practicing," and I say that, so my thinking is Waddle probably did get hurt in a series or in a joint practice where no one should have got hurt, which then leads to the Dolphin defense. I think it's Jordan Brooks and Tyrell Dodson getting into a fight essentially over, yo, these guys are moving crazy. Like, what are we doing out here? And what's interesting, I've then seen some people on Dolphin social media going, this team is soft because the Bears done this and the Dolphins didn't retaliate. And to me, I was like, no, but the Dolphins did the right thing. We had an agreement. Just because you guys are trying to impress your coaches, no. So I say all of that to say this. I don't think Tyreek would have played. I think Waddle would have played. I don't think Tua, Waddle, or Tyreek would have played, but I think he was going to try and play as much of the starting O-line to say, hey, you guys need to, continue building this chemistry. And it's one thing to do it in a joint practice, but we're going to do it in preseason. So I think you'll see a lot more of the starting O-line and what we have of it, more than we'll see Tua, Tyreek, and the rest of the starting skill players, if that makes sense.
Bro, when the report came out that Dolphin players were fighting each other on the sideline during a joint practice, I kind of had an idea of what it was. And this is without any more reports than that. I kind of like, I think someone's probably getting checked for not being locked in enough. You know what I'm saying? Just as a locker room person, like, yo, he has to get checked. And right now is the time to check him. That other person decided to check him, whoever this player was. And we still didn't know at the time. So one of my friends that played college ball, I actually have a pretty good community of former like college players in my circle. And we talk, and a lot of really good football heads in my college circle too, in my football circle. And we were talking, and here was my take. I'm like, listen, I'm all for checking people, bro. In football, in the sports world, I'm all for checking people. All right. You gotta have accountability. And that's what captains do. So when this was announced, I'm like, well, let's see what happened. Let's see who it was. Let's see what happened and whatever. So someone asked me, hey, what do you think about it? How you feel about it? And I said, I don't believe in doing that during a game. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in fighting your teammates during the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't like that idea. And I don't like it happening in a joint practice while the quote unquote enemy is on the other side right there. Like, we need to be a unit right now. We need to be cohesive. You feel me? So I don't like doing that in front of another team either. It's almost like when you got company over, Kadeem, at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be on your best behavior. And then when they leave, we're going to have to handle the family business. You know what I'm saying?
So and very quickly, especially if you've then gone to their house, because we're not in Miami. We're in Chicago. So it's like, yo, it's like you have that talk at the doorstep. It's like, I'm going to remind all of you once again, best behavior. We're not at home. Don't maybe have to speak to you while we're out here.
Feel me?
Dolphins,
Am I tripping, bro?
Dolphins.
I'm not tripping, right?
No.
I'm not tripping.
100% no.
So in this back and forth that I had with someone else, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with it, but you don't do it in front of the other team. You don't do it at a game. Like my boy Kadeem just said, you don't do it at someone else's house. And you wait till you get to the locker room. And if you even got to throw hands in the locker room, it's okay. That's allowed, it's tolerated, and it's Coach Touche says it's encouraged. Do you feel me? Now, again, I do not condone violence, you know what I'm saying, in the real world. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all boys want to throw hands in the locker room in the sporting environment, I'm all for it. I don't condone violence outside, but if y'all want to get something off y'all chest as teammates inside, get up and shake hands later, I'm all for it. Clip that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it. I didn't like that it was during practice. So then we find out who it is. I think LB hits me. Like, hey, what you make of this? I think I can't remember. And I'm like, as soon as I heard it was Jordan Brooks, I didn't know who else it was. I'm like, I guarantee not. Like, it's almost like the bet line goes up or goes down, because it's like, yo, this is more likely of a chance someone really got checked. I heard it was Jordan Brooks. I'm like, yeah, this thing just went from minus 150 to like minus 400. Like, I'm pretty sure someone got checked. Then I heard who the other person was. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like minus 1,200 now. I guarantee Jordan Brooks had to check this dude, right? So Dotson is the linebacker who I said was not a starting linebacker in the NFL, but he starts for the Miami Dolphins. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? He gets an interception during the game last season. And, you know, the team's running down to the end zone to do their celebratory take a picture, and he takes off his helmet. In real time, while the team's jogging down to take this picture, he takes off his helmet. In real time, live, you can see friend of the podcast behind him, Javon Holland, like saying, hey, put your helmet back on. Put your helmet back on. Put your helmet back on. Like, you can read his lips. This is real time, live television. I can see Javon Holland tell him, hey, put your helmet back on. Put your helmet back on. But not trying to make a scene so that we don't get the penalty. We still get the penalty. He puts the helmet back on. And it's just a level of immaturity. Like, yo, one, he's not a good linebacker for real. He makes a play, got a pick, cool. And now he takes his helmet off, gets a penalty. He's just not that dude. So when I heard it was him and Jordan Brooks, I'm like, I guarantee Jordan Brooks had to check this dude. And this is probably the second or third time that someone had to say something to Dotson about something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for it. But I'm not here for it at someone else's house.
to take it back to the game. So opening drive, Dolphins. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Opening drive, opening play. It's like a legal shift or legal formation. So the Dolphins are behind the sticks. You're like, yep, this is exactly what we expected. But Tua and the offense drive down the field, get to the goal line essentially, and 4 attempts to run it in. Nope, 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 and nope. Turnover and downs. But what did you make of Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins offense in that situation, saying we are committed to at the very least trying to run the ball on short yardage situation?
So I'll throw this in here because we probably won't touch on it too much. Alexander Madison got hurt.
Ouch.
Maybe could have been. I don't want to speculate, but it looked like a head neck injury, higher upper shoulder injury, potential concussions. After I just said I'm not going to speculate, but you know what I'm saying. Like it looked like he's going to miss some time. Sometime could be 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying. But that's what you got Madison for, and you have Ali Gordon. Jalen Wright looked real good during this game. But to answer your question, Kadeem, and everyone heard Tyreek say Achane is not a short yardage back, and I would not want to see Achane go 4 times from the 1 yard line trying to get in the end zone on a preseason game. That being said, we got to be better, Kadeem. I don't care if it's preseason. You got your starting O-line in there, and I don't even think the Bears had their starting D-line in there. Like, bro, this is bad. Short yardage Miami is bad, and it's been bad for a while now. However, prior to that, I kind of like the way we looked going down the field. I was okay with it. But what did you think about the short yardage goal line situation?
It's preseason, and I genuinely couldn't care. I'll say, okay, I was annoyed we didn't get it in, but there was people on the timeline going, same old Dolphins. I'm like, we could have. It's not going to happen every single time, because then when they do get the 1 yard, touchdown run later on, everyone's on their phone silent. No one's talking about it. To me, it's one of those situations where it's frustrating, but just because the Dolphins didn't convert those 4 attempts, to me, it doesn't mean that they haven't solved their short yardage situations, because there can be times throughout the season where every single team in the NFL is going to fail to convert on short yardage situations. To me, it wasn't that deep. I think if it was an actual game, the Dolphins would have mixed it up, probably not have been so obvious about what they're going to do. You might have seen a play action or whatever. And it's interesting because when Zach Wilson came in, there was a few play action, short yard situations, and Zach Wilson stinks. It is what it is. But yeah, I was frustrated, but I didn't quite understand the overreaction because, like I said, when is it Madison gets his 1 yard touchdown? No one said the Dolphins solved their short yardage situations. It's like
I feel like that's unfair because it's later on in the game where everyone is not playing starters. You know what I'm saying? This was your starting unit. You can't get in from the one. You have issues trying to get the short yardage issues. You were kind of like the opposite that happened where you punched it in with your starters the first time from the goal, the first possession from the goal line, and then it's only preseason. Like this doesn't count. But nah, you didn't get in. And this has been an issue. So I think it's fair for people to be like, nah, hey, y'all sure we figure this thing out or not? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But then, sorry, we're missing the fullback, the starting right tackle, and 3 of those guys, or 2 of those guys in James Daniels and Jonas Havanaya is, it's a new line. And, not to blame anyone, but on some of those plays, the reason we didn't punch it in is because Jonah whiffed on a block. But and again, to me, it's okay. You can see the intention, but you also know that unless you're running the brotherly shove, no team is going to be perfect on short yardage situations. I understand you would like to have got it. You didn't. Like I said, I just didn't understand the overreaction because when we were successful later on, even if it is backups or whatever, there's crickets. No one's like, okay, cool, fair enough. And to me, it's no, let's keep the same energy. I'll talk about same energy with quarterbacks later on, but I don't have time, but I can understand the negativity in preseason. To me, it's crazy.
I thought Tua was gonna sneak it in from the one on a preseason game. Well, like, yo, if we sneak it in from the one with Tua right now, we really don't have it figured out, bro. Like, this is a problem. But let's go back before the goal line situation where it's a drive. Malik Washington had like 4 receptions, maybe. Looked good in the process and missed. I think we missed him on 1 or 2 or 1 on that same drive. And this was my thought about Malik Washington before this preseason game even happened. 2 saves, 24, Malik Washington. I can't remember what animals they are. They might be reptiles, but I forget. It could be certain type of fish too, or it could be all animals. I have no idea. But if you have a certain like pet in a tank, it only gets big enough for the tank. You stunt its growth, and it will no longer grow bigger than that. Or you put a certain animal in an environment where it cannot grow bigger than its environment, it stops growing. That is what Malik Washington is, bro. Malik Washington, in my opinion, is supposed to be like a starting slot receiver where you can give him 100 receptions a season, bro. Like, he's supposed to be like that Waddle type of player where he could take volume. I think he led the NCAA in like targets in his last year in college or something like that. It's a stat where it's like, oh yeah, he's a volume receiver, or maybe receptions. I can't remember off the top, but that's Malik Washington. Yet Malik Washington is sitting behind Tyreek, Waddle, behind Achane as far as the line of succession. You feel me? Like, who we're going to get the ball to first. And then even last year behind Jonnu Smith. Bro, we have some. And then now you got Westbrook Akine there. And I think Westbrook Akine there is for his size and his blocking ability. But technically, I think Washington is actually the 3rd best receiver on the team. So Malik Washington does his thing. And I'm like, man, bro, I wonder if we stunt this dude's growth. And when it is his time, he doesn't perform the way he needs to perform. Although, on one of those touches, at the end of the touch, he fumbled and it went out of bounds. And all of us remember the muff punt he had in Green Bay, where the game just changed forever after that. Muffed the punt inside the 10, and we never recovered. But that's here nor there. I did want to bring up the opening drive. I thought it was a pretty good drive.
What'd you make of? Do you want to get to quarterbacks now, or do you want to get to the defense?
We go to quarterback, bro.
What did you make of Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers? And I put them both together because personally, they both stunk. And if anything, one stunk more than the other. And some people don't want to hear the one who I think stunk more than the other.
Here's what I've gathered from one preseason game. It's only one preseason game. It's just an assessment. I can only assess what I have to assess. The Dolphins don't have a backup quarterback right now. That's what I got so far. We do not have a legitimate backup quarterback right now. Zach Wilson holds the ball too long. And to have Tua and Quinn Ewers, who's supposed to be like this, he gets the ball quick release type of quarterback out. He's going to be perfect in the system type of quarterback. And then Zach Wilson has done, his entire camp so far, knowing that, this offense is predicated on windows and when to release it and timing and stuff like that. He still kind of just sat there with the ball. And so I'm like, come on, bro. Like, what's going on? He did actually have like a pass or two. I'm like, that was impressive. It was like a pass or two that he had that was pretty impressive. I think Taj Washington was on the receiving end, the one who had a great snag. Shout out to Taj Washington. Injury ruined his entire season last year. And speaking of people who seasons were ruined by injury, shout out my dog, 2/24 Rondell Moore. Last year had a significant right leg injury, right knee injury, took him out for the whole season. First preseason game back this year, a significant left knee injury, and he's probably gonna be gone. That's 2 years of no football. Like, dude had all types of potential. Back to the game. Zach Wilson is not it if we're playing hide and seek. Not it. He's not it, bro. I remember we had quarterback rankings, Kadeem, and everyone had Zach Wilson all the way at the bottom of the list. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I sat here and defended Tua for not having weapons and just being tossed in the fire, and not having even all the plays in the playbook, according to the Chan Gailey, you know what I'm saying? I can't put it on Zach Wilson. And that was at that time during those quarterback rankings. I'm like, I need to see more from Zach Wilson. And I was not defending him. I'm just like, I just need to see more from Zach Wilson before I could say he's trash. He's just not good, Kadeem. Zach Wilson's not good. I don't know what it is about quarterbacks that can maneuver out the pockets that just don't want to maneuver out the pocket when they get to Miami. I have no idea what it is. It's been like that since Dante Culpepper, bro. Like, we get quarterbacks that can move around, and then they get to Miami and they don't want to move around. Over to Quinn Ewers, I was not impressed, and I wanted to see better. I wanted to see more. In my opinion, I thought Ewers did better than Zach Wilson, and I think, yeah, I can't even say who's the backup right now, but I still think Ewers will beat out Zach Wilson for the backup position. I'm not excited about backup right now.
Yeah, I think Zach Wilson, I think you got the true Zach Wilson experience. He had what, two screen passes off his back foot into the ground. And it's like, bro, one of them is a touchdown. Like, how do you not get that? But then he has another, like, off his back foot flick of the wrist completion. It's like,
yeah,
that's a difficult one. So it's very much a case of you make the difficult stuff look easy and the easy stuff look impossible. Like, it made no sense. There's some sacks again where it's just like, bro, you have to feel the pressure. Like, there's one where he steps up in the pocket, but not enough to avoid the sack, and it's just, yeah, this is going to be a very short one and done year, because I can't imagine he improves to the point where he becomes a reliable backup. On Quinn Ewers, again, it's his first NFL game. I'm not here to turn around and go, the guy's a bust or anything like that. What I will say,
you can't bust from the 7th round.
You can't, unless you're Skylar Thompson and not some others. It's like, well, again, how do you do that?
If you don't pan out in the 7th round, you're not a bust. Just
oh no, of course, yeah. To any Dolphins fan who seriously thought that Quinn Ewers was going to be out Tua for this job, I don't know what you're watching. And again, it's one preseason game, but people were legitimately going, hey, like, just watch. And it was funny because when people very quickly realized that Zach Wilson in Miami, like, I'm talking, during the game, isn't going to work, everyone was like, just you wait until Quinn Ewers gets in. And then my timeline just went silent. And there was one person who does a podcast for another channel, and he, after the failed, first, second, third, and fourth and goal convergence, he was like, can't fix anything, this is rubbish. And then when Cuba's put in an absolute stinker, was like, no, patience, give him time. And I was like, again, it goes back to what I've said for years now. Dolphins fans, if they like someone, they'll give someone all the time in the world. And if they don't, they don't care. And again, I'm not here to get on Quinn Ewers' back, not at all. But it's one of those welcome to the NFL moments. You can't scramble and hold the ball like that, because these NFL guys, even the ones that aren't going to be in a job in a few weeks, they're going to knock the ball out of your hands. And yeah, Quinn Ewers was bad, but I'm not going to write him off, because okay, it's a learning process. The bigger issue is, before I pass it on to you, you said it, now others are starting to say it, with each, and again, it's too soon to say Quinn Ewers is a failed backup quarterback in Miami, like 7th round, all that kind of stuff. But with each backup quarterback that fails to look even decent in this system, the more people turn around and go, Tua is the system. And again, like, and I face it because you said it ages ago. But it's funny, people on my timeline going, maybe Tua's not the problem. It's like, yo, over here on Go Time Dolphins, we've been trying to tell you that for ages. But there's a bigger issue with this system. And again, sorry, I know I'm going long. This system has gone from being super quarterback friendly because even Tua can get it to no one can get it apart from Tua. And again, the Tua haters are in the mud right now, and it's embarrassing at this point.
I think Tua saves McDaniel's job, bro, and Chris Greer's job. Like, although I think Chris Greer does his job better than McDaniel, I think Tua saves both of their jobs. And I think McDaniel knows that. That's why he doesn't address the offensive line. Or I'm sorry, Greer knows that because he doesn't address the offensive line. Like, it is the wildest relationship, bro. The wildest dynamic. I don't understand this. If you have a pocket passer quarterback, why don't you fix the pocket so he could pass and like just accelerate in what he does? You feel me? Or excel in what he does. Fix the line, make him a pocket passer, embrace it as opposed to, oh, this is a different culture of football and you got to run. Well, you don't have a running quarterback. You don't have that. Why don't you give this person what he needs to succeed? It is the wildest thing. Here's that Jay Fiedler football that I said I had. Jay Fiedler signed this football. I thought I had it at my other place. It was here this whole time. Shout out to J Rob for shooting us the Jay Fiedler autograph football. Yeah, man. We do not have a backup. I do not see, bro. You know what I expected from Quinn Ewers? I expected Quinn to come out and look similar to Shedeur Sanders' performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shedeur Sanders' performance was a good performance. Like, oh, there's something there. You can see that Shedeur Sanders belongs in the NFL with his first preseason performance. We're not saying he's a starter, not saying he's going to the Hall of Fame, but the same way Dak Prescott came in his first preseason game, I was like, oh, he's an NFL quarterback. You knew it when you see it. Shedeur Sanders, oh, he's an NFL quarterback. You know it when you see it. I thought I was going to get that from Quinn Ewers. Like, oh, we're going to have a better backup than last year.
Yeah.
And I can't say that. Like, I cannot say that. I was about to say I can't say it with my chest. I can't say that at all because I don't think this is nah, bro. This ain't it.
And you know, like I said, I'm not writing the kid off at all because, you know,
I might write him off. I might.
I couldn't remember dude's name on the preview, but the Skylar Thompson and Eric Ezekama link up in their rookie season on preseason. Everyone was like, yo, again, Tua haters were like, Skylar Thompson's the answer. And years later, Skylar Thompson isn't the answer. But I just think, yeah, it's Quinn Ewers had a welcome to the NFL moment. There's a few moments where it's just like, this looks ugly. But also it's if this isn't a, for lack of a better phrase, good NFL system, because if only one guy can run it, it's not a good NFL system. Then
no, go ahead. Finish.
I was gonna say, then, you know, I'm not gonna blame Quinn Ewers too much because if he's in a, again, for lack of a better phrase, more quarterback friendly system, maybe you do get performance like Shedeur Sanders for Cleveland and other rookie quarterbacks who come in preseason and go, okay, cool, this is something.
What did you make, staying on the offensive side of the ball, what did you make of Jalen Wright and Ali Gordon?
Yeah, I thought they, like, Ali Gordon's first one, he was like, okay, this is good. This is going to be something. I think in terms of all position groups, the running backs today all look like they're going to have a significant role to play during the season, and all looks like they're going to contribute something. Like, again, Ollie Gordon was initiating contact and looked good. Jalen Wright looked good when he had the ball. Devon Achan is going to keep on doing Devon Achan stuff, and Alexander Mattison's injury is unfortunate. Hopefully it's not too bad, but again, in his touches, once he got going, he looked good as well. So there's a genuine battle there. It'd be interesting to see, what they do there. But yeah, to answer the question, Wright and Gordon, I thought they looked impressive. How about you?
I liked Alexander Madison before he came to the Dolphins. And when we got him, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to make the team. You know what I'm saying? But I still liked him as a running back. And then I seen him perform today. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but speculation was he's not going to make the team. So I'm like, yo, I like what I saw from Madison. Ali Gordon was cool. I thought that's what I expect from a first preseason game from a running back that got selected late in the draft. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna be here saying he's gonna be the 2. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone else is saying on everybody feel like everybody we draft is the starter. You know what I'm saying? Like in every round. But nah,
Again,
he's cool. He's cool for depth. But Jalen Wright, I like Jalen Wright, bro. I think Jalen Wright has a argument for not splitting carries, but taking some of these carries away from Achane. I think we see more Jalen Wright this year.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't disagree. Like, yeah, he looked good. He looked well. I think there was a pass play where Devon Achane stood in the backfield, blocked really, really well. And again, I said it last year. If you can show that you can block as well as Achane can, then you're going to get more opportunities. And yeah, Jalen Wright looks like he's gonna hopefully, expand his presence in the offense this season.
Defense, what you got for us?
You
know what? I'm sorry, Kadeem. It's fantasy football season. We're gonna take a break real quick, plug in some fantasy football stuff. We have the Go Time Dolphins Fantasy Football League returning. For all of the Go Time Dolphins listeners, we appreciate all of you, everyone who was in the leagues last year. We appreciate all of you. We're coming back. We haven't really figured out the relegation system. If we're gonna, we said we'll start it this year on 2 leagues. One would be the Champion League, and the other one would be, I don't know what we'll call it, but the Go Time Dolphins Podcast Fantasy Football League is coming back. And this year, if we have 2 leagues, it would be relegated next season. So if you want to play with us, again, hit us up at gotimedolphins@gmail.com, and in the subject, put fantasy football. That's all you got to do. gotimedolphins@gmail.com. In the subject, put fantasy football, and we'll see how many teams we got for the league this year. My bad, Kadeem.
No worries. Yeah, I thought the starters and what we can assume are going to be the starters. Again, you're up against backups, but I thought they showed that front seven is going to be an absolute problem. For Kenneth Grant looked good. I thought Fender Podcast Bradley Chubb looked good. I think even the depth guys, I think like Grayson Murphy is gonna find himself on a football team this year. If not the Dolphins, it's gonna be someone. I thought that as the game wore on, the Dolphin defense kind of, I don't want to say tired themselves out, but kind of looks a bit sloppy. But for at least the first half and a bit of the second, they looked really, really promising. And it's just corners. Like if you can get to, like again, Storm Duck did well. Ethan Bonner had a nice pass play cut, which led to a Patrick McMorris interception. Yeah, if you can get, like a good safety and a good corner, this unit is going to be something to fear. But no, at the very least, the front seven looked promising. Albeit against backups for the Chicago Bears. How about you?
There's a part of me, Kadeem, that says I think the Dolphins' defense might be better than what people think it will be because of our D-line. I do think our DBs are quite suspect, but I still think there's a chance that the defense could still perform because the most important unit on the defense is that good. I believe there's a chance we could be better than what we think we would be on defense. So I'm going into the season with no expectations. I'm actually just gonna. There's a time, and I keep bringing this up, but there's a time where I disconnected from football, not just football, but from sports and from the Dolphins, to where I could watch the game, not be emotionally attached, and was just there and watch games and like, okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna get too high, not gonna get too low. This was mid 2010s, around like 2009, 10, 11. I don't really remember. And I was just watching and I was like, okay, cool. Whatever happens, happens. And I don't want to be sucked back into like expectations and how come we didn't do this and how come we didn't do that. And then we got Ryan Tannehill. And he wasn't it. I knew Ryan Tannehill was a hit. But the trajectory of the team said we should be good enough to make a run, even with Ryan Tannehill. Not saying Ryan Tannehill was trash, but he was good enough for us to make a run with him. He got to a point where he was good enough for us to make a run. And then that's when I started having expectations again. I've been sucked back in ever since. And ever since, I haven't been able to just remove myself. Like I'm going to try to remove myself this year and just watch and just accept whatever they give me. Like, let's just watch and see what happens. But yeah, man, I forgot where that came from. You got something else before we get into bonus time?
No, I don't know.
Y'all know what time it is. It's overtime. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So, preseason game 1 in the books. It's weird as well because we just spoke about the defense and we've got the Colts week 1. And I think the line opened at like, there was a line the other day which was like the Colts are 1.5,
Minus 1.5.
Yeah.
Minus 1.5.
Again, it's only been one preseason game, but again, Anthony Richardson, not it. Like, dude, what is going on? Given what the Dolphins showed you so far in preseason, are you at the very least worried about week 1? Not for this season, just week 1, Indianapolis Colts.
At one point in the offseason, all right, I'll dress it up this way. I was not worried about the Colts at all whatsoever. I thought that was a guaranteed win. We're going to mop the floor with the Colts. The Colts, we lost one of them games. It's like the NFL gives us this they give us these alley-oops. You know what I'm saying? And they gave us a chance to get back at the Titans, and then the Titans beat us again. And now they're giving us a chance to get back at the Colts. And bro, we have to mop the floor with the Colts. So there's this thing, Kadeem. You know, we do easy money, right? During the season, we have the easy money segment. And once upon a time, and you know, I have no problem saying this, I used to have a gambling problem. And I stopped for like 7 years. And it wasn't a count. I wasn't counting like, oh, 7 years from now, I'm going to jump back in. It just happened to be 7 years later. I like, oh, you know what? Let's see what happens if I put this parlay down. And then I kind of got back into it. And what I realized was I just needed maturity, growth, and patience in the sports betting world. And now my week 1 bets are they hit way more than the midseason bets. So I noticed I hit better during the week 1. And that week 1 Dolphins versus Colts game was something I was circling the whole offseason. Like, bro, this is going on every parlay I have. We do, you know what I'm saying? Bet in moderation, gamble responsibly. And if you have a gambling problem, Call 1-800-GAMBLING if you're in the States. So, you know what I'm saying? That I circled that game. Like, yo, this is a guaranteed win. This is easy money, right? We're going to start off easy money 1-0. Just know that. And then they lost Jim Irsay, the owner. And there's nothing like a team playing with a purpose. And I added that into my thought process. And I wasn't afraid. I wasn't nervous, but I like, I don't like it that they lost their owner and now they have something to play for, even if it's just that one game. You know what I'm saying? Believe it. They're going to be in Indianapolis. There's going to be a tribute to Jim Irsay. The whole crowd's going to go silent. There's going to be patches on the jersey. There's the coaches, the organization's going to be like, hey, we got to go get this one. If we don't win another one, we got it. They're going to coach them up like, hey, this is the one we got to get. And I don't love that for my parlays. You know what I'm saying? That being said, not it. Anthony Richardson is not it, bro. If we're playing hide and seek, bro, he's not it. You know what I'm saying? So neither is Daniel Jones. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Like, so listen, bro. If the Dolphins lose to the Colts, bro, if we lose to the Colts week 1, Kadeem, I have to reevaluate a lot of things in my life, bro. Like a lot of things, like podcasting, fandom, how much I'm investing my life into the Miami Dolphins, traveling to Spain to see the team that lost to the Colts in week 1, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I have to reevaluate a lot of things in my life when we lose to the Colts. And it's possible we do, but I don't think we will.
Yeah, like I need to go back and fully watch that Colts game. And again, it was one drive from Tua. It was a few drives from the starting defense. But I just think if the Dolphins
Tua played that Colts game? I thought
I meant
Huntley played
today.
that Colts game.
I meant no.
I'm
talking,
okay. You said Colts game. You mean Bears game?
Bears game. Sorry, yeah. Preseason, preseason mistakes. Yeah, listen. There's always a world in which the Dolphins could lose week 1, but I just think if they have a healthy Tua and a healthy defense, the Colts just look like they are on. And again, it's only one preseason game. I'm not trying to take too much away from it, but just as an organization, and if you don't have a starting quarterback, you are looking like you are heading for the first overall pick.
You might want to add in a healthy Tyreek Hill too.
You think we'll struggle without a healthy Tyreek Hill?
Week 1 or for the season?
Week 1.
Nah, I think the Colts. We should beat the Colts without Tyreek Hill too, bro.
Yeah, and
we
again,
should, bro.
I think we're doing episodes on our. Assuming we do an episode on who makes the final 53, the wide receiver room, like there's going to be some people left out. Assuming it's Tyreek, Waddle, Nick. You've then got the 2 Washingtons. Eric Edukama looked like he's still got something. Like you never know. And then there's going to be some is like I didn't realize he's going to make it. So no, I think the Dolphins should be okay to be. If it's just Tyreek, Tua, and Waddle, those 2 can dice up the Colts in week 1. Too late now, but a conversation about tight ends will need to be had at some point very soon. But again, one preseason game, is what it is.
While we're on the Colts, friend of a podcast, Savon Ahmed was on the Colts and got injured in a practice with a illegal hip drop tackle, and that is speculation is that was a severe lower leg injury. So shout out to former Miami Dolphin Savon Ahmed. We hope it wasn't too severe. We hope it is just not bad at all, and speculation that was bad was wrong. And again, shout out to his homie, first friend of the podcast, Myles Gaskin, 40 acres and a Hellcat, was signed by the Baltimore Ravens yesterday. So shout out to friend of the podcast, Savon Ahmed, or Myles Gaskin and Savon Ahmed. But man, bro, you got anything else for us in overtime?
Nah, just good to see Dolphins. Oh, do you know what? So first preseason game, not just for me, but for Miami Micah. And I had him on my lap. He had his little Dolphins bib, and like the Dolphins gets ends up like, yo, like he's watching TV. He shouldn't be watching, but he's watching TV. It's like, we're gonna celebrate your first Dolphins touchdown, seeing it, Dolphins don't get in. And then he starts being ratty, and I give him to his mom, Dolphins score a touchdown. I was like, but no, it was a fun moment watching the game with Miami Micah, and I'm just enjoyed that.
Bro, I seen the pick. It was such a dope pick. Hey, I need everybody on Dolphins Twitter to stop saying Miami Micah for Micah Parsons, bro. We already got a Miami Micah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't steal the name that we got for Micah. You know what I'm saying? So how mad would you be if Micah Parsons became a Miami Dolphin and he becomes Miami Micah? And then everybody's like, dang, Kadeem named the son after Micah Parsons.
Basic maths. My son was there first. So, like, you can argue what, but it's basic maths. It is what it is. But nah, enjoyed that.
Let's get out of here.
Until the next time, we shall see you soon. Peace.
Go.